everybody, what's up? It's TJ. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello, welcome. My name is Taylor Janet. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a junior economics major at the #1 HBCU in the nation, the illustrious Spelman College. My channel consists of lifestyle videos and college vlogs. I've basically been documenting my experience since I started at Spelman as a freshman, which is kind of crazy to think about. So I'm wrapping up my junior year at Spelman now. This is my spring break. It was extended due to the coronavirus. I don't think I really had the fear like, oh my God, if I go outside, I'm gonna get sick. It didn't affect me in that way, but it affected me when they canceled school. I just feel like everything happened so fast. I think a lot of us had to make a lot of changes just because a lot of our practices during this pandemic aren't safe, especially colleges and universities. So Spelman, along with a lot of other schools, had to take action. They extended our spring break by 1 week, and following that, we'll be having remote learning. So all of my classes are gonna be online. I won't be back on Spelman's campus until August, which is kind of sad and crazy, and there's a lot of feelings there, but it is for the best. There's a lot of fun things that happen at the end of spring semester, right after spring break. We have Founders Day, which is just so much fun. It is so beautiful. I'll probably still be wearing my white in my room. There's pageants, there's college charity runs, there's graduation, which whew, I have faith that my friends in the class of 2020 are gonna get to walk. I do, I really do, because events were really only canceled through April 30th, and that's not April 30th, it's after, so I have a lot of faith that my friends will get to walk for graduation because I really want that for them. And then there is Spellbound. Spellbound is really hyped up on campus. And for a good reason. If you don't know what Spellbound is, it's when all admitted students to the class of 24 get to come to Spelman. They have a day full of activities, really showing you the culture of Spelman. You get to meet us. We're all so hyped to meet you guys. You get to see all of the different clubs on campus. There's performances, there's food, like it's just a lot of fun. Also get paired up with a Spelman student, and everyone's so excited to have their Spell babies. I have two. All the Spell babies get to stay with their hosts overnight in their dorms. You get the real deal experience. Then you wake up and you go to class with them, so it's pretty awesome. I still remember my Spellbound experience. My Spellbound was in 2017. I'm starting to feel old, wow. It was the day after my prom, so I was like so tired. I caught a flight first thing that morning because I had prom the night before, and it was just so much fun. Both of my parents went to Spellbound with me. I stayed overnight. My spell mom was Tangi, who is one of my favorite people, and then she had two spell babies, me and Chanel, and literally every time I see Chanel, I'm just like, hello. Guys, look who I just ran into. It's me. Chanel. Okay, I was literally just telling them about Spellbound. Yes. Chanel was my spell sister. We both had Tangi as our spell mom.
Yes, those are the days. And now we are almost sophomores.
And we're hosting our own spell babies.
Yeah.
Yes. So good to see.
Time is flying.
Yes. Well, you too. I'm really trying not to ramble, so let me get back on track. During Spellbound, we have so many sister chats. We can just answer anything you want to know because it's a big decision. Picking a college is a huge decision. So I was like, okay, what can we do? I posted on my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter, they're both It's Taylor Janet, and my YouTube in the community tab. I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I can try to answer them. I know this is a really big decision and only one person, but literally feel free to keep asking questions as they come. Feel free to DM anyone from Spelman. My DMs are always open, you guys know that, but literally anyone from Spelman will be happy to answer your questions, especially since there's no Spellbound. I've got the questions on my phone right here, and let's get started. Question number 1, does taking AP classes help with the workload? I have a few thoughts for that. AP classes definitely help with credits. So let's say you're a chemistry major, right? And you take AP chemistry. It's not likely that that AP credit is gonna go towards reducing your like course sequence when you get to Spelman. Also, even if it did, I don't recommend that at all. I genuinely think that even if you've taken like a class before, you should take it again at Spelman with those professors, because I just think that helps like the matriculation go a lot faster. I think there are some people in the econ department who've taken AP Micro, AP Macro instead of the principles ones, but then when you get to the theory classes junior year, you took those classes in high school, you literally don't even remember, and you're just like, you definitely can keep those credits. I took AP Bio, and that's just 4 credits towards the 120 credit requirement towards graduation, so it never hurts. Credits never hurt. If you really do want to like cut down on your course sequence, I just recommend taking classes. You can take so many classes at Spelman. They have a few online classes. Now all of our classes are online, but I did a few programs. I did the ECP program before my senior year, and I took Biology of Women. Then after I got accepted, and this is an awesome program, so you guys should look into it and apply, it's called the YSTEM program. I took Calculus 1 and I took Computer Science over the summer, and whoo, that was probably the best decision I ever made, you guys. And I say that because, first of all, everybody has to take computer science to graduate. No matter what your major is, you have to take it. And if your major requires for you to take math and you can get that out the way, I definitely recommend that, because my class had 6 people in it. I got a lot of attention from my professor. I mean, classes are already really small, but then this is like really, really small, and it was just a great experience. And it allowed me to get really ahead. I got into my major as a freshman, which isn't really the norm, so I definitely recommend taking classes if you can. Next question is, how is the transition from high school to college? What's different? I think the biggest transition and the biggest difference is you're independent. Going to admissions or going to Packard and kind of like figuring that out for myself. I'd also say that another big difference between high school and college is scheduling. In high school, you know, you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then sometimes you don't get home till like 7 p.m. because you have after school stuff. College is not like that. You might have like 4 hours between classes, and just kind of learning what to do with that time and what works best for you, and kind of learning who you are as a person. You're by yourself, so learning, okay, I can't wake up in the morning, so let me not take first thing classes. Or, you know what, I hate taking classes at 8 o'clock. I'd rather be in bed. Let me take a 9 a.m. So kind of trying to like figure out what works best for you, I would say, is the biggest transition. Also, another thing I remember like being kind of shook about as a freshman is like, you gotta be on top of yourself. If you decide not to go to school in high school, your mom's probably gonna get called, right? If you decide not to go to class, your teacher may or may not say something, however, comma, that goes towards your attendance. So you kind of just have to hold yourself accountable in everything that you do. That's the big difference. Next question. Does Spelman really live up to its expectations versus reality? I would say that depends on what your expectations are. I know that my expectation, my number one expectation, I say this all the time, was sisterhood. Spelman prides itself on its sisterhood, and that's what I came to college for. Quick story, real quick. I was kind of not sure of where I needed to be. I knew I wanted sisterhood, and I was looking for that in a school, and ultimately, the reason I decided to come to Spelman, like the overall deciding factor, I had a lot of reasons, but this is the one that just set me over the edge, was that I was in the Atlanta airport wearing a Spelman sweatshirt, introduced herself to me, I introduced myself to her, and I told myself in the airport, I said, if I get into Spelman, I'm going. And then I literally got accepted to Spelman that day, like 20 minutes later. So yeah, that's why I go to Spelman. It's because of the sisterhood. I think that's one of the biggest expectations coming to Spelman, is the sisterhood. I would say that definitely lived up to my expectations, if not exceeded it. I think that's another thing that people expect from Spelman. We're the #1 HBCU in the nation, and that means something. Our alumni go hard in the paint to make sure we have what we need. Even with the coronavirus situation that's happening now, there's alumni reaching out for students who might have trouble relocating, you know what I mean? So I definitely say that it's a sisterhood, it's a network, and the connections are really, really good. I think for me, those were kind of my expectations when picking Spelman, and they definitely exceeded them. I really just like the support and love that I've gotten from Spelman. It means a lot to me. The support and love that I've received from Spelman is something so special, and it's just something that I don't take lightly. I don't take it for granted. So I hope that answered your question. The next question, not the corona, I promise. What advice can you give for making the decision to come to Spelman, cost versus benefits wise? That's a really good question. As an economics major, I spend a lot of my time examining trade-offs, so let's see what we can do. I would say this kind of goes back to what I was saying before. you gotta know what you need. I knew I came to school for sisterhood and support and to be uplifted and challenged. Those are things I needed. I could get a bachelor's of arts in economics at any school. I could, let's just say that. You can get the same exact degree anywhere, right? Like you can get that anywhere, but you kind of have to go into what you need and what works best for your situation. Everybody's different. One of the awesome things about Spelman is that we are not all the same. So we all come from different, we all have different stories, we all have different needs. And so to give a specific yes or no is really hard. And I tell that to my spell babies all the time at Spellbound, that everyone's different. So as far as the cost, there's a cost. That's tuition. It's money. It costs coins to come to Spelman. There are scholarships available. There's financial aid, and there's also external scholarships. So I say if Spelman is the school for you, finances might be a challenge. I wouldn't say automatically cancel it out. I would say seek those outside of school scholarships to really see what you can do. At the same time, I would say that like debt and loans are also not something to play with. So you kind of have to have a conversation with yourself, with your family. Long story short, do I think Spelman is worth the money? Yes, but to make a short story long, everybody is different. Just because that's how person A did something does not mean that exact thing is gonna work for person B. I will say there's a lot of things that I gained from Spelman that I can't even put a dollar amount on. My SD card just got full, you guys, so that means I'm talking way too much. Next question is, how did you adapt to the Spelman culture? Ooh, spicy. Spelman culture. So I think of Spelman culture, I think of excellence. We're the #1 HBCU in the nation, so a lot of us want to be the best. And we're very competitive with ourselves, but one thing I will say is that we're not competitive necessarily with each other. We're not like competing. It's not very toxic. It's very uplifting. It's healthy competition. So I would say that, how did I adapt to Spelman culture? And that, for me, that was just constantly challenging myself. I always have a goal, reaching that goal, and then being like, what's next? What can I do? What can I do? Next question, how rigorous is the course load your freshman year? And what are some resources you can use if you need help? Freshman year, one thing I will say is a lot of the freshmen take the exact same classes. Everyone has to take English 103, everyone takes ADW, you know, a lot of us take the same classes. FYE, that's like the freshman year seminar. That's gonna vary. It depends on your teacher, it depends on your strengths and weaknesses. I will expose myself for a second. I am not the best at ADW, okay? I enjoyed some of the conversations that I had when it came to like knowing an entire map of Africa. That's just not my strong suit. I remember having to do the same thing in Spanish class for South America, and I just wasn't good at it then, wasn't good at it now. Is it the end of the world? No, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. You just try your best. And as far as resources, there are plenty. So off the top of my head, some resources that are really helpful: the Student Success Center. Those are student tutors in most classes. I would say they don't have tutors for like the upper level classes, you know, your 300-400 level courses. But when it gets to that point, that's when we start having TAs, specific students who work with that class, who ace the class, all that good stuff. And that's just as helpful. And then I'd also say office hours are so important. If you want to understand something better, the best way to do is just ask the teacher. And in office hours, you can kind of sit there and ask your specific questions, and it helps. Oh, and next question is specific. As an economics major, how has Spelman helped you find internships and other opportunities? Okay, so I'm an economics major, as you guys know. Spelman has prepared me in so many ways. Like, it's ridiculous. So freshman year, I went abroad for the summer. That's a great opportunity. You can put that on your resume. It helped with my Spanish. Sophomore year, after the summer, I did a summer research program with University of Virginia in their inaugural data science research program. Getting into that cohort was purely a Spelman connection. At that time, I had a really bad interview anxiety. It made me so nervous. To be honest, I had a few interviews lined up. However, I canceled them, which you shouldn't do, but I was just really scared. I was like, I can't do it. And I was kind of like not sure what I was gonna do for the summer because I was like so scared to interview. I went to my department chair and I was kind of explaining my situation and like things I wanted to do. There are so many companies like out there who will email your department chair with like programs and say, hey, we have a spot for this, hey, we have a spot for that. So I was telling her, she knows me really well, really close, like what I kind of want to do with my life. And she's like, what about research? What about data science? Are you interested in that? Within like a week and a half, I had this position. That's just because of Spelman. Another thing is that Spelman sends out internship opportunities literally every day. Like every day there's probably like 10 to 15 sent out. There's companies that do like diversity days, I call them. I don't know if that's really what they're called, but basically they come to HBCUs and they invite you to the company. They'll usually fly you out, put you in a hotel, teach you about the company, teach you about the roles. I've done this for a few companies, but I did this in August with a specific company and I got really interested and I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is my niche. Like, I think this is my thing. I think this is what I'm really into. It's still related to economics. It's a field called revenue management, and I'm not gonna bore you with the details, but yeah, that's what it's called. And because of this program that I got through Spelman, I got invited to be in their mentorship program. I'm a part of a 2-year program with this company learning all about revenue management. I have homework in revenue management, and Spelman has been so accepting of that and so helpful that this semester I'm getting 4 credits doing it and it counts as a class. So I definitely would say Spelman has provided me with so many internship opportunities. So my internship for this upcoming summer, I'm really excited about that as well. I got that through Spelman. I got that through the career fair. I met this company at the career fair, pitched myself, and then I went from there, went on to interview. And as I said, interviewing makes me really nervous, but I did a lot of mock interviews at my school. People helped me and encouraged me, and I got the position. So I feel like I've been talking so long. Next question. What made you choose Spelman over other schools? I would say that what made me choose Spelman over other schools, one thing I told you guys is I really did come to school for the sisterhood. Sisterhood is something that's really important to me. It's something that I need, I seek. I think it's so uplifting and beautiful. One way to know if a school is right for you, if you can, is to visit as many schools as you can. Once I narrowed down my schools, I was between 3 schools, Spelman included. I did an overnight visit at all of the schools. I kind of got a sense of the culture. I got to go to classes at all of these schools. I will say I think I would have done fine at any of the schools, but I think Spelman was the only school that really had that sisterhood for me. And as you guys know, as I said, I really came to Spelman because of the sisterhood, because that woman hugged me in the airport. And that happens all the time. I was in Trader Joe's like 3 days ago and someone saw my sweatshirt and she was like, ah, I'm class of 80. And I was like, hey, 21. So it's lit. Yeah, for me, that's what made me choose. But I would say if you're having a tough decision, really write out everything that you want in a school, because even down to the weather. One of my best friends goes to school in Connecticut, y'all. She is trekking to class in the snow. I could never. I barely like going to class in the rain. I would not go in the snow. Spelman, one flurry, campus shuts down. So you gotta know, you gotta write down every little thing that you want, down to the city, down to the weather, the location, the class sizes. All of that are really good things to do. And just knowing what you want. You can't visit a school, don't hesitate to reach out to students at that school, because if they're like me and if they love their school, which they should, they will love to talk about Spelman. I love talking about Spelman with anybody who will listen. I will talk your ear off. That's why I have this channel. Last question, you guys, is ways to meet potential roommates or people in general. As far as roommates, that's a little bit tricky. I went in knowing my roommate. I knew her through a summer program I did at Spelman prior. I think you could try to do like the group me thing. I know people do it. I would just say be cautious, just because not everyone is their true authentic self in the group me. So I also don't think, like personally, I don't think the group me is the way to make friends, but that's also not who I am. I am an introvert. So that being said, shameless promotion for another video I made over the summer is a video all on ways to make friends introvert friendly, and I will put that in the cards right up here so you guys can check it out. But I think that will give you a lot more information that can be applied to finding a roommate. All right, guys, I feel like I've been talking for like forever. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment them down below and I'd be happy to answer them. We can do this again. Even though Spellbound isn't happening this year, I don't want you guys to think that you're going to be robbed of your Spelman experience. Spellbound's really your chance to ask questions, to get a sense of if the school's right for you, learning the culture. But I suggest that you reach out to us because we'll be happy to answer them. but don't think that your sisterhood's gonna be broken because you didn't go to Spelbound. When you make the choice to change the world, in August you will be at NSO, all of your class, Spelman 24 together, bonding, and it's awesome. You probably won't even remember that this happened. Thanks so much for watching this video. Comment down below any questions you might have. If you enjoyed, please give me a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye guys, and thanks for watching.